Hello, people. Welcome to yet another episode of Football Dialogue, and you can see me smiling like I always do. But to be honest, it's been a month of monologue, and we are yet to do a dialogue. But that's because of the fact that the guests that are supposed to be a part of our episodes, our pod, we haven't found a time that works for each and every one of us. Busy days, busy times for all of us because this is just like a secondary thing that we do. We are all active employees, so we need to actually give some more time to our primary jobs. And this is just like I said, the secondary thing that we all do. So hopefully, in time to come, we'll be able to find the time that fits all of us, and then we'll be getting things, we'll be getting more, dishing more content across. And it's not just going to be my point of view only. And you have some other guys who are actually got a great football knowledge, and they'll be dishing out their own point of view on what they expect from each game weeks as well. So um, without dwelling too much in that, let's move forward to what we always do, which is the preview of the game weeks. And when the games are done, we'll do a review of the games. So this time around, I'll be starting with the Merseyside Derby, which is lunchtime tomorrow, half 12. If you're in the UK and some other part of the world, like West Africa too as well, half 12, after your breakfast, be ready for a crunch game, it's going to be a tough game because right now Everton are not looking like the side that they've been in the past. They're looking like a great side. Um, Liverpool as well. They've been scoring too many late goals, and we don't know how that is going to be sustainable for them on the long run. But it has happened now in 5 games this season already. They've scored late goals, and obviously we don't expect that to remain the same. The time will come when they'll be, if they actually draw the game in the 90 minutes, they will not be able to get the late goals to give them the 3 points. So, but Liverpool right now, everyone is excited. Liverpool fans especially. Now that Isak has gotten his first start in the Champions League over the weekend, where they won the game 3-2 to Atletico Madrid, he actually played so well for someone who has been rusty, who has not had a game this season, who has not had any match minutes whatsoever. And he came into the team. He was able to link up well with the attackers. He was able to link up with the midfielder as well. And this is what Isak is all about. Isak is not just about goal scoring; it's about linking up play too as well with each and every part of the midfield and the attackers too as well. So he's a great player, and he's a player that has got much more to offer, not more than goals. So Liverpool Everton is going to be a tough game because Everton a great side at the moment, and they are in a good one of form. They've got David Moyes, who's helped them to kick on from how they finished the previous season, and they are looking very, very good right now with the addition of Grealish to the attack. It's more spicy than it has always been. Someone who can create chances, someone who can get the team to the byline when they need to at least waste some time to win a game. So it's going to be a tough game, like I said. But Liverpool are not looking like a team that is going to drop points anytime soon, despite even scoring 10-minute goals, because they tend to score goals, but I don't know why they concede easily. They tend to concede easily too as well. But I think in this kind of game, like the way they played against Arsenal, they appreciated that Arsenal is a very difficult side, a strong side, and they were really, really good defensively. So I guess they must have prepared so well against Everton too as well. And Slot would have been able to note some things down and know how he's going to structure his team not to concede that number of goals that they are conceding even after going ahead, because that happened against Bournemouth in the first game of the season where they went 2-0 up and then they conceded 2 goals to draw the game 2-2 and score 2 late goals. Same thing with Atletico, they were 2-0 up and then they conceded 2 goals and then they scored late in the game. So in this kind of game, such can repeat itself again, but I think they must have taken their lessons from those games and be able to get things done properly, rightly, and not leaving it late. So Liverpool Everton. My prediction for this game is going to be a 2-1 to Liverpool. I see Liverpool getting all 3 points again this time around. So, and it will not be them having to score a late goal. I believe it might just be a 2-0 and then Everton chucking one back in, um, maybe late in the game to make it 2-1. So, next one, we've got Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur. This is a game that I know I'm not going to struggle to predict this one because I believe Brighton are going to beat Tottenham Hotspur. Brighton playing at home, they're a very good side. Tottenham has not been convincing in the way that they play. The attackers have been struggling a bit. Xavi Simon is not sparkling at all. Kudus, I don't get why he's not penetrating. He's not causing more problems in opposition box than like he used to. He's just holding the ball on the flank and trying to cross the ball in, and it's not as exciting as I expected. And I think it's something that Frank needs to work on more. He needs to get Kudus to to play closer to the box so it can cause more damages, more problems in the opposition box against any opposition that they face. So Brighton is a very good side, and this is a side that I guess they really need to bounce back. They've played so many good games, and it's not reflective in the points that they've amassed so far. So, but them being at home again, I think they can get a nick on Spurs on this one. Spurs being active during the midweek and playing in Champions League at home to Villarreal. I think that's going to impact their fitness level. They will not be as fresh as Brighton, and I think Brighton will just get one on them tomorrow. So that would be a 2-1 win for me for Brighton. I think 2-1 to Brighton. So next one, Burnley versus Nottingham Forest. Burnley have been a fantastic side this season, and Nottingham Forest seem to have struggled. There's been a new change in the direction of the club, in the way that they want to play, and you can see that in the midweek game that they played in the cup. They lost to Swansea even after leading by 2-1, and Swansea had a late equalizer, and I think they won in the pens, and they went through to the round 4 of the Carabao Cup against Nottingham Forest. But they played good. You could see the way that they scored the goal. It was a really very, very good gameplay by all of those involved, and they got the goal, a very good goal. Easy, the setup, the tactics behind that goal was fantastic. It was good to see. But the thing is that is this something that is going to work for Nottingham Forest as a football club? Because what Nuno was doing before is making them defensively strong, and they have good attackers too that can actually get them goals. But this time around, Ange is setting them up in a different way that might cause so many damage to their defense, and going away to Burnley again against a Burnley side that now only lost to Liverpool in the previous game. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for Nottingham Forest. So Woods is a very good goal scorer, so I think there will be goals in this game. So my prediction for this game is going to be a 2-2 draw. Burnley versus Nottingham Forest 2-2, and next one, West Ham versus Crystal Palace. West Ham versus Crystal Palace, that's another London derby game. Crystal Palace going away to West Ham. West Ham are not a good side. We all know about that, because the main reason behind that is because they haven't got a great manager who knows football, who knows how to set up a team to be able to win games. And I'm sure he does not have good people that work around him too as well, because he's not a good manager. So he has just brought in a couple of people that don't even know what football is about and how they can actually improve a team. So all himself and his backroom staff, they are not good enough. And the more West Ham delay sacking him and hiring someone, the more they are putting themselves in the brink of relegation. So because right now every point is crucial, because you don't know where you are going to get your next point from, because so many Premier League teams have uplifted themselves. They've signed a couple of players. The only team not being able to do that this season is Wolverhampton. They've not been able to replace the players. Even if you don't replace them, at least you bring in a couple of players that are decent, that are going to improve your squad. But that's not the case for Wolverhampton. So that's the only team that I think West Ham, if they keep their manager, they can actually be above on the log. So West Ham is going to be a tough one for them if they want to continue with Potter, and their fans are showing that it's gone to right now. They are very unhappy with the way things have turned out this season, conceding goals too easily from the set pieces, and that might be their undoing against Crystal Palace too, because Crystal Palace have got a team that are good aerially, the likes of McGay, Lacoy, and Richards as well. Even Mateta too can prove to be threatening aerially. So it's going to be a very difficult game for West Ham. I doubt West Ham will be able to cope with the attack Crystal Palace are going to launch against them when they meet tomorrow. So my prediction for that game is going to be a 3-1 win for Crystal Palace. Next one, Wolves versus Leeds United. Wolves, like I've always said, they are looking like the bottom table team this season, and it might actually be the case for Wolves. Wolves might sink to an extent that they cannot be rescued again. They are going to drown in the table this season, and they will most likely find themselves in the championship for next season, and that would be very, very disappointing based on the investments they've made in the past and the direction of the club. We're thinking this is a club that actually wants to remain in the Premier League and compete to be just somewhere around the mid-table every season, but it seems like they are getting to a dead end, and this might just be their last season until when they try again to get into the Premier League from the Championship. So Leeds United, like I said in the previous episode, Leeds United are a huge surprise for me with the way that they play. The manager is an attacking manager, but so far so good. It seems they just naturally have great defenders because even as much as they've been attacking teams, they've not conceded as many goals, excluding the game against Arsenal, where they conceded 5 other games that they attack and expose themselves. They have done good due diligence in their defense by limiting every team that they faced to not score as many goals. So they only lost by a slim margin to Fulham, which was an own goal, yeah, if I recall, which just 1-0 away from home. And Fulham being a very good side too as well, they struggled to score Leeds United. And Leeds United are attacking, they are playing the way that they think they'll be better at, and they've done that so well. So I think they'll be able to get all 3 points against Wolverhampton when they play tomorrow. So my prediction for that game is going to be Leeds 2, Wolverhampton 0. So next one, Manchester United, Chelsea. This is my game and the game that we are all expecting to watch. Both Manchester United and Chelsea fans and all fans around the world. Some fans are expecting a reaction from Chelsea after they lost to Bayern Munich during the midweek, and some fans are expecting Manchester United to bounce back from the defeat against Man City and now playing even at Old Trafford and they not losing to Chelsea for I think over a decade now. They've not lost to Chelsea at Old Trafford, which is a very good record for them, and it's something that they can hold on to, and that can give them the confidence that they need to make it a really tough game for Chelsea. And with the fact that Mason Mount and Cunha is back right now, it's been announced in the press conference by Amorim that they're back training again, so it means that they are going to be playing against Chelsea with their full squad right now. So what's my take on this game? Watching how Chelsea play this midweek, like I've always said, I don't have full trust on Enzo Maresca with the way he set up his team, and his understanding of football is something that is questionable because if you are a manager, the only thing that I believe I do not have that Maresca has now is that he trains this player on the daily, so he has very good knowledge about their strengths and how they should operate. But to be fair, that's the only thing, the only vision I don't have, training these players every day and see what they can do for me. But there are some things that are just common sense. There are some things that you just see and you just know that, okay, this thing is not working and something has to change. But it's not been the case for Maresca because we've all seen that Enzo Fernandez has not been working for us in the way that Maresca has asked him to play, pressing in the attack and running back to midfield. He hasn't got that energy. He hasn't got the body to do all of those actions throughout the game. And this is a player that you want playing 90 minutes and you allow him to be putting so much energy, so much intensity. The thing is that if you want to expend so much energy on something, you need to get something back. You need to get something back, but that's not been the case. You expend so much energy for little or nothing, and that shouldn't be how things work. Once you put in energy, you put in all the hard work to get something, the returns should be fantastic, the returns should be huge, but that's not the case. Enzo Maresca is misusing Enzo Fernandez and so many other players in the team. He has misused them, which includes Jorel Ato, it includes Fofana. When he returned back to the team when we played against Brentford, he was misused, and because of that, we might not see him playing any game anytime soon because neither is the manager happy with what he saw Fofana played, nor the fans. The fans are not happy with what they saw Fofana played. But I cannot blame Fofana. He wasn't playing a role that he should play for somebody who's just coming off injury. He should be properly managed. And another thing is Gusto. And Gusto has been misused for so long. And anytime we see Malo Gusto play on the right back role, running down the wing, you see him doing great things there. The only mistake he made against Bayern that so many people are getting at him, which shouldn't be the case, was him not being on pressure and doing an erroneous back pass that led to Kane scoring the third goal. And another thing that we need to look at is the way fans are calling out Neto and saying he's not good enough. Neto is a player that the way Enzo Maresca wants him to play is for him to be able to make so many defensive runs, which obviously will limit his attacking output for us anytime you see him go forward because he expends so much energy, doubling up with Cucurella to defend against threatening wingers like Dembele, like Olise, like he did in the game. But we didn't see him do enough defensively, neither did we see him do attack. But sometimes some games like that happen where the player is not as good as what you expect. And we've seen that from not just Neto, it has happened to the best of players, including Cole Palmer when he's been played out of position. But I wouldn't say Neto was being played out of position, but we all know that we get the best from Neto when he plays on the right wing. And we all saw that earlier on in the league and even in the Club World Cup that Neto on the right wing is a different kind of beast. So Joao Pedro is still doing his thing. Great player. Cole Palmer always as fantastic as always. Playing from the right wing and playing through the middle is best. If we can't find a very good position for us to play Enzo Fernandez, I guess it's just best for him to stay on the bench. We've got Andre Santos who can actually partner well with Caicedo in the pivot and do a good job for us in building up, in doing making defensive role because he's younger. He's a younger player who's got the energy to be able to at least do that and cover some spaces for us. And he's a good passer of the ball as well. So I don't see why Andre Santos has been staying on the bench for too long. So another thing I want to talk about is like now you could see that Enzo Maresca does not really understand teams that he plays against. He's misprofiled Bayern as PSG because Bayern and PSG don't play the same way. PSG has got two wing back who are always running on the attack. You find them in the nine. Bayern haven't got those players, and he was expecting that all the balls that Malugos, all the runs that Malugos to make is going to be able to at least out their backline because he's going to get free spaces like he did against PSG. But that was never going to be the case against Bayern because they don't have wing backs in Konrad, Lema, and Stanisic that bomb forward like Hakimi and Nuno Mendes does. So you should understand that this is never going to be the case. And Kimmich is a more defensive player than Vitinha. You could see that Kimmich was able to close some spaces because this is somebody that grew up playing right back. So you thinking you'll be able to out Bayern the way you did PSG was never going to be the case. And we all understand that we are not defensively strong as we were when we played PSG. Corul is a big miss, understandably, but we also have players that can actually be better than the player that I fielded against Bayern. Against Bayern, you're playing against a team that have got attackers who are very pacey, and Kane who knows how to find how to position himself in the attack in the box. He's a very con, he's a fox. You can see him find some kind of spaces that Olise will be able to get the ball across to him. And Tosin is a player that lacks awareness. He's a player that lacks awareness, and if he actually recovers, you see that he's not as quick again to recover because he's tall. He's not fast. He's not pacey. The only thing Tosin helps us to do is to stay in the back. The two strengths he's got, and we never needed in this game was area ball. Bayern don't play area ball, don't cross the ball and not like that. So Tosin was not needed. Neither did we need to. Neither were we going to possess the ball enough for Tosin to be helping us to ping some passes that is going to break their midfield or defensive line. So we never needed Tosin. We needed an agile player in Achimpong to partner Chaloba in that game. So you saw how Achimpong in the first game dealt with Mateta. Mateta is a very good player as well, physically strong as well. But Achimpong was able to come out of that game, and I think he was the man of the match in that game. So Achimpong was a go-to player for this game, for the game against Bayern Munich. So that aside, let me not talk too much about Chelsea and Bayern Munich. Now we're talking about Manchester United. Now, Manchester United, with the way that they set up, we need our attackers flying. We need them flying. And the expectation is that you play these players in the position that they are very familiar with. And we don't need to invert anybody when we are playing against Manchester United. We don't need to invert anybody. They play a back three. It limits their attack to an extent, and they want to transition only. So just allow the guys, the four defenders, play the position they can play. If any fullback, one of the fullback, either the right or attacks, let the right back stay. And Caicedo should remain in that DM position to help us intercept any ball and break any attempts to break our and counter any attempts to break our defensive line. So Caicedo should just remain there and every other person should operate. We don't need Enzo in this game at all. And De Santos and Palmer can push up front when we are attacking them. And we need Neto on the right and we need Garnacho on the left and João Pedro up top. We don't need you to do this. This game is too clear. The pathway to beat Manchester United is very clear, and they are excited that are struggling. They are struggling of confidence, but Old Trafford is going to give them a bit of confidence. And the fact that they have an historical background in this game when they play Chelsea haven't not won there for over a decade now, is something to give them that, to lift their spirits that, okay, they can get something out of this game. But we need to break them. And how can we break them? We can break them in the first 20 minutes. When you pump 2 goals against them, they are lost. They cannot recover again. So we need to take the game from the start. And the press conference was uninspiring. Maresca is showing too much respect for Manchester United. He's showing too much respect for Manchester United, and that is a pointer that this game is going to treat it like we are playing against a team that is on the same level as ours right now. But that shouldn't be the case. Manchester United are nowhere near Chelsea right now. So we should be going there full of confidence that we are most likely going to get all 3 points, and not going there to say we want to actually go and play a match against them. But I'll leave it for Maresca. So hopefully we get one on Manchester United. That is what I expect. I will always expect that. But in the past few years now, I've expected us to beat Manchester United because anytime we go to Manchester United, we go as a better team, but we return with either a loss or a draw. Mostly a draw, but we don't want that this time around. We want to go there knowing that we are going to win them, and we'll win them. That is the way that it should be, you know. So to predict the game now is difficult for me. Maresca press conference is not inspiring me to be able to say we are going to beat Manchester United 3-0, because if we had a good manager, that would have been the case. But my prediction will stay at 2-1 Chelsea. So next one, Fulham versus Brentford. Um, Fulham are playing at home again, and Brentford is a side that's got a point against Chelsea when they played the last time, and you can see that they've got a style of play. They are looking to be able to conjure the old spirit of Stoke into their game, where Delap will be making all those long throws, and they have found a Delap in Kayode. So, and Kayode is doing it very well. It's not just once, it's not twice, it's a couple of times, and that was what they used to score the equalizer against us. However, the equalizer shouldn't have stood, but it did. But it's part of the game. So thanks to Kayode being able to do that long throw. So it's going to be a tough one. Brentford is looking like a side that at least they know their strengths, they know where they can actually win games. But Fulham are a side who are really good as well. So it's going to be difficult for them to just use that as a strategy to beat Fulham. So I think Fulham is going to win this game, and I'll give it to Fulham 1-0 to Fulham. Next one, Sunday game, Bournemouth versus Newcastle. This is going to be a very sweet match. Newcastle have played in the midweek against Barcelona. I'm sure they've expended all the energy that they got to win that game at St. James Park. The fans putting all the pressure, giving them all the energy and all the vibe to run for 0 points. They did all those for no points against Barcelona, because Barcelona treated the game like they respected Newcastle to an extent with the way that I wouldn't say they respected. They were shocked to see Newcastle play the way that they did, because they couldn't find their feet in the first half an hour. Barcelona were like, what's going on here? What's happening? What kind of team is this? This is a team that don't usually come to Champions League. Why are they playing like they've always been in Champions League? You know, they kept running, they kept pressing, and giving Barcelona, making it uneasy for Barcelona to be able to build up from the back at all, even undo their offside trap. Well, they all lost. They could not attempt to work on their offside trap very well, because Newcastle kept breaking it, and it's just that they couldn't get a goal from it, unfortunately for Newcastle, and they happened to lose the game due to very, very good finishes from Marcus Rashford. That was just a masterclass from him in the game. And they happened to lose the game by a lone goal after getting one back in. But that is going to impact, it's going to demoralize them, because this season they've played so many good games, but they haven't gotten results from them, just like Brighton as well. But now I'm going away to Bournemouth, who are a very good side. They've only lost to Liverpool, and they have 9 points right now, above Chelsea on the log. So they are doing so well. Everybody were thinking this is going to be a team that is going to fight for relegation, but Anthony Raola said no, the best manager that we have in the league, in the Premier League, and people are thinking that it's just had about 3-4 years in management. But this is somebody that once you see the way Bournemouth play, you can see that this guy has a template in football. He's got a template, and if I'm going to go into management, it's going to be the manager that I actually want to learn under. I would want to study under him, and learn a thing or two, because he's got a template that works very well, very efficient. Anybody, no matter how bad you are of a player, you're going to bed into his team. So, and we can see that he's getting good results from his games, and he's getting good contributions from his players, which has turned into results for them, which is very good for them. And they won the game that they played against Brighton 2-1, and now they're playing at home again against Newcastle, who has played during the midweek. So I see them winning this game again. I see Bournemouth winning the game. So 2-1 to Bournemouth. Next one, we've got Sunderland and Aston Villa. Aston Villa are struggling. Everyone knows about this. Unai Emery is struggling to put his team together to get results. And however, they played in the midweek. They played Brentford and lost to Brentford on the pens. However, Harvey Elliott was able to get his first goal for Aston Villa, which is good. And Sancho had a run into the game in the team as well, and he did well. He didn't do too bad at all. Sancho has now lost the flair that he's got as a player. So I expect him to be able to get a nudge to start the game on Sunday against Sunderland, because this is a game that they need to win. They need to win by all means. So I think it's going to be Harvey Elliott on the right, Sancho on the left, Rogers in the middle, and Watkins up top. So I think they can be able to put to be able to get something from this game. So I think the game against Sunderland is going to be a 1-1 draw. Sunderland versus Villa 1-1. So next one, the last game of the week, Arsenal versus Manchester City. This is going to be a game that we all want to watch. Another cracker of a game. which is happening on Sunday. But Manchester City have been able to slightly recover from the dip in form, and this seemed like it is due to the loss of Aït-Nouri and Ryan Cherki to injury that has been able to give them the uh, the synergy that they need as a team again. Because Foden back into the team has been able to have a good connection with the attack. You can see Doku um, getting getting past his player with ease and scoring goals now, and creating chances too as well. This is not the Doku that we've known in the past, and this is a new Doku right now. So it's going to be dangerous for the players that they are going for any opposition that they are going to face. But they are facing an Arsenal side who are defensively sound. So this is going to be a very big test for Doku to see if he's actually in the form of his life right now. And Foden too as well was coming to the team and just hit the ground running quickly. He was been hiding. We don't know where he was, and he just came from nowhere. And now he's been able to make at least nothing less than 3 goal contributions in 2 games, which is very good. And you could see the assist for HAALAND. He just chipped the ball up to Haaland's height, and Haaland just headed it into the net against Napoli, which is a very, very good finish. And Haaland is looking to score goals too as well. So that's all that they need. And they are not conceding goals. They played against Manchester United. Manchester United not a good side anyways, but Napoli a man down. So obviously it's going to be easy for them not to concede a goal. So I wouldn't I've taken all of those into consideration, looking at what Man City is playing right now and how they are building on their form. But them going to Emirates is not the best time. It's not the kind of match that you want to have in your when you are on when you're just starting a run of form. You want to have to play Arsenal when maybe you've won 6, 7 games on the bounce and not just 2 games on the bounce. So the expectation is from this game is that Arsenal are not conceding goals right now. They haven't conceded any goal this season apart from the goal they conceded against Liverpool, which is hard, which is not from open play. Like we've always said, Arsenal are defensively strong, and anybody they put in just knows their job, know what they are doing defensively from a defensive point of view. The only question mark we have for Arsenal is the attackers. The attackers haven't clicked yet. Eberechi is playing on the left side, hasn't been working for them, and he's not getting as many balls like he was getting when he was at Crystal Palace, because everybody wants to give Eberechi the ball because they know he can make things happen. But this hasn't been the case for Arsenal, and maybe Eberechi is still feeling like he's now under the spotlight because he knows a huge amount of people are watching him now, unlike he was in Crystal Palace. Because any game that I play, he knows so many eyes are on him and they want to see what he can do with the ball. So maybe that too is getting to a team. I think he needs to release himself, just like Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is a man for the big occasions. Eberechi you're a good player. You just need to ignite. You just need to bring in that Cole Palmer attitude into your game and just play your game and make things happen for your team. He can play on the left wing. We all know that's definitely not the reason why we are not getting as much from him. But I think he needs to call for the ball more. He needs to make himself known to the other players that I'm the superstar, yeah. Especially when Saka is not in the team right now, I'm the superstar. So you have to give me the ball. That is how he should make himself feel. He needs to show that guts. He needs to show that aura. That's what good players show. Like, I'm the boss here. So give me the ball. Let me make things happen. So, but that wasn't the case. Midweek, you see, Martinelli came, and that was when they were able to get their goal. So it means that he wasn't doing too many things, right? So Eberechi you've not got time. You need to hit the ground running. So, however, they don't need Eberechi to be able to get a win against Man City. They don't need Eberechi's form. So right now, however, Saka is injured, Odegaard is injured again, and there's no Saliba. But Mosquera has been a fantastic replacement for Saliba. There hasn't been signed that they are missing Saliba at all, like I've said. And Calafiori is looking to have a good season so far because Lewis Kelly is on the bench, and Lewis Kelly is a good player. So you have to be very, very good for a manager to leave Lewis Kelly on the bench. So it shows that Calafiori is back to what we know him to be, anyways. So Declan Rice and the pivot with Zubimendi, good players, and Merino can find somewhere in the attack to play because that is where he thrives the most. He's a good goal scorer. He's a good header of the ball. He knows how to shoot the ball, how to place the ball. So I think he should be closer to the attack than the midfield. They just need to start to maybe find a false 9 role for him. If I was the one, I would put Gyökeres on the bench. But obviously, you signed Gyökeres for that amount of money, and with the hype that is the player that is going to win the league, you have to play him. Arteta, you have no choice. Even when all of your players are back, you keep playing Gyökeres. Gyökeres will score some goals, definitely. Even if you put a 3 in front there, you're going to get goals because Arsenal are going to play many oppositions that they are much more better than, and they will be able to get goals either ways. So, looking at the game again and doing my prediction for this game, Arsenal versus Man City, I see it as an Arsenal win. Emirates, easy. HAALAND, Gabriel is not going to let you go. You're going to have a very, very tough game. And you are dealing with Gabriel. Even if you go past Gabriel, there's somebody also coming for you, Mosquera. So all of you will need to be in your best of form from Doku to Foden to Bernardo Silva, finding some pocket of spaces to Phil Foden, coming from the right side. All of you need to be in your A game to be able to get a result against Arsenal. And I want this game to be a draw, but I don't see how that is going to happen at the Emirates. So my prediction for this game is a 1-0 for Arsenal, 1-0. So I think that's it for today. Preview of the game week 5. And I hope you all stay tuned. And I know it's not easy to plug in to watch video for as long as 30 minutes plus. But for those of you that stay tuned up to this point, big ups, big ups, big ups. And I hope to continue. I hope to continue to have the energy to be able to make as much videos from now and in the future. Yeah, so I'll see you all guys in the part 2, which is the fantasy for fantasy fans. I'll be doing a preview of game week 5 for all of the fantasy lovers. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Bye for now. Take care.